Hello, good afternoon, students. My name is Gerardo Hoyos, and let me ask you guys this question, and I can answer for you. Is gun shooting a problem to the U.S. nation, and should they do a universal background check? The answer to this question is yes. The reason why the U.S. should require universal background checks for all gun sales and firearms, transfers ownerships, mental health crisis of possessing firearms, mass shootings are an American problem, and improved gun background checks would impede some mass shootings. Let's move on to my first area of analysis to mental health crisis of possessing firearms. There are people with mental health that have been going through a tough time in their lives that they would decide to shoot, kill, and injure people before committing suicide. According to the background of the aftermath of Virginia Tech on April 2007, a Virginia Tech student named Seung Hui Cho killed 32 people and injured 17 others before committing suicide on a college campus in Blacksburg, Virginia. He was prohibited to purchase a firearm under federal law because of a history of mental illness. However, it says that he was able to purchase a firearm through licensed dealers after 2 background checks. So anyone, including adults, students, kids, etc., can have a mental illness because something has happened to their past lives, taking a drug medicine, or something that makes them go sick and go on a killing spree before committing suicide. Moving on to my second analysis to mass shootings is an American problem. Mass shootings has been a serious problem in the U.S. school shootings and mental illness shooting. The United States mass shootings has been a major problem in the entire nation in a quarter millennium catapult itself to global prominence by solving the world's greatest problems and exporting these solutions to the rest of the world. According to Britannica, the article about Sandy Hook Elementary, also called Newton Shootings of 2012, Adam Lanza shot 20 and 6 adults at Sandy Elementary School, leaving 28 people dead and 2 injured, before taking his own life. Later on, the NRA, known as the National Rifle Association, responded by advocating the introduction of armed guards into all American schools. The piece of federal legislation to be inspired by Sandy Hook was the assault weapons ban of 2013. Last and final area of analysis is improving gun background checks would impede some mass shootings. There are many civilians who have firearms, whether they have it in their car, house, safe, or somewhere near them. The NRA tries to muddy this comparison high rates of gun homicide, overall gun violence, suicide, and accidents. Higher rates of violence in the U.S. is worse compared to the weak criminal justice regimes and unstable governments such as Honduras, Guatemala, Yemen, etc. The gun policy, according to the New Stanford article, the gun policy should not be a focus on a single incident, but rather from a careful evaluation from costs and benefits of each and every civilian. Legal interventions in light of all evidence on mass shootings, on ordinary crime, for example, robbery, breaking in, murders, and suicide. The only way to reduce criminal crimes and gun violence is in addition safe storage laws, legislative tightening of those to allow possess guns to the fullest extent that the Constitution allowed is clearly worth exploring, like for example AR assault rifles, shotguns, snipers, any type of weapon that is deadly and serious, that is dangerous for people with mental illness. Those can be in a safe storage and will solve the problem. In conclusion, the U.S. should require universal background check for all gun sales and transfers ownership because mental health crisis of possessing firearms that happened with Seung Hui Cho impedes some mass shooting are an American problem, and improved gun background checks would impede some mass shootings. These 3 analyses could help reduce gun crimes, mass shootings, robberies, etc., so that less lives are reduced and places to be robbed. Another example, bank, stores, houses, and malls. People should have a background check before purchasing a firearm, whether they are ill or have engaged in criminal misconduct, or any other adults, any civilians.